Welcome to Bismarck. This is your first time here, right?
It is our first time.
What's your first impression?
It's different from where I come from. I'm from the mountains, so this is spread out. I mean, I can see farther than 500 feet, and it's nice. It's the people have been really nice.
Oh, when you say you're from the mountains, where is that?
Upstate New York, it looks a lot like Alaska. Tall mountain peaks and up in the Adirondack Mountains.
Well, now you have an office in Ohio,
Cincinnati.
and it seems like you're kind of strewn out all over the place here.
Well, we are moving Thanksgiving to Cincinnati, so we will be with our office there and the staff, which will really help. We need to be more centrally located too. New York is just a bear to get in and out of, so it'll help being near the office.
And Christine's had quite an interesting week. She spent some time, and she's been on quite a tour here. She was in International Falls, Pequot Lakes,
Brainerd, Grand Rapids,
and now Bismarck. And she drove. You got to tell the International Falls story. It's too good.
Well, our first day, my sister's with me. We're both from New York. We left New York at 4 in the morning, flew to Minneapolis, and we rented a car and drove 7 hours to International Falls, and then did a concert. So it was like a 21-hour day, you know. And then my sister got the flu that night, and so we were up all night with her. So
And you just got in time for the concert too, didn't you?
we got in with like a half an hour to spare, so we were running, you know.
We feel privileged today.
It's like that.
We feel really privileged today. You got here in time to do an interview and everything. Tell us a little bit about your ministry. Now, of course, most of our listeners are very familiar with you since we've played Wayne Peterson's show for many years, and the music, of course, we've played. What's been happening the last few years? You've really been focusing your ministry a little bit, haven't you?
Well, the ministry is really 9 years old, and it started as a result of me asking the Lord for a new challenge in my life. It's not something I always wanted to do, sing that is. And I did 7 regular albums, and I say regular in that every song is thematically different from the next one. And then because of a response to a song I did called The Fire, we really saw that the Lord could use a whole album designed for hurting people. You know, he could use that so dramatically, and that led to the album called For Those Who Hurt, and that has changed our ministry. Instead of getting a one-page letter from someone thanking you for your music and saying, you know, my favorite song is such and such, now we're getting 24-page letters from people, I mean, literally pouring their hearts out, and we've had to develop a counseling end to our ministry to adequately handle the mail. And I mean, if you ever battled with an ego, all of a sudden being aware of the widespread needs that sit in each audience, and how badly they need encouragement, how badly they need you to take being there seriously, and send them away encouraged. It destroys any ego. It has totally changed my focus. And
What does this do for you now? You come into a town here, you've had a long week, you're tired. I mean, let's face it, you're tired. You got a crowd, 400 or 500 people tonight that you're going to have to encourage when you get up there. How do you do it? Where does it come from?
it's amazing, but I have seen it so many times. My best concerts come when I'm tired. Something happens at 5 of 7, and it's just the Holy Spirit shooting you with adrenaline. And I asked the Lord when I first started to sing to bring things into my life that would keep my songs fresh, because I wanted to be able to sing something. I mean, this is where the rubber meets the road. 800 times and still have it be fresh and new. And He has done that. He has, even as tragic as allowing my mom to have cancer, and then my husband's mother dropped dead of a heart attack in the middle of my mom's illness. And that internalized the For Those Who Hurt material from the album, that internalized afresh for me. And so now I can sing Carry Me in the Fire, and I mean, they're like gold. I don't get tired of them. And it's a beautiful thing to see the Lord take our vulnerability in a concert setting and our hurts, and through that, people can see that your message has some credibility. And He literally explodes the message of encouragement.
Has it come to the point where you can see it now? When you look out there, you can see it in certain people, see the hurt?
Well, definitely in the people who are weeping. Weeping is a very common sight Toward the end of the concert, I do about 20 minutes strictly for hurting people. And there's a lot of weeping, yeah. What's exciting is that this new album that I just recorded has a song for my kids. My kids are both adopted. And it's a song written for unwed mothers who perhaps are carrying children. And the name of the song that I wrote for my kids is I Almost Never Knew You, because our little girl was to have been aborted. And we pray that the Lord would use this song to stop abortions. And last night, sure enough, there was a girl, 8th grade, afterward, came and saw me. And she says, I'm pregnant, and my folks don't know it, and I don't want the Crisis Pregnancy Center here in the church to handle it. What should I do? And the hurting people is just incredible.
So after a long concert, you sat and talked with her?
Sat and talked with her, and I went and talked to the pastor back in the foyer, and I got the name of an agency across town where she would not be known, and put her in touch with someone she could be accountable to. And
it was all worth it, wasn't it, coming out here?
It was. It sure was.
It's exciting. I understand you have an unusual story, too, about is it the latest adoption that you had? I heard from somebody that you had a really unusual story about that.
It would be this story, but I go into detail tonight.
Uh-oh, I better not tell.
Previews here.
I'll give it away. I don't want to do that. We do have to do something here, and as soon as I can get Steve to bring my names in, here he comes. Christine is our honored guest as far as picking out our names for our More Power to You contest. And as we've told Christine, we're raising our power to 100,000 watts. We've got a whole bunch of letters in here, Christine, and you get to pick out the winner, okay?
How exciting.
Okay. Now we're going to mix up the letters, and she's just going to pick one out. We've had lots and lots of letters, and she's going to read the winner.
I read the letter?
Just read the name.
Read the name, okay. Faye Spear, S-P-I-E-R.
Oh, no.
Why? Has she won before?
You're not going to believe that. Faye Spear. I think, Faye, that God had something here for you, okay? Faye is a friend of the station. She's been on many times. She is one of a set of twins who just flew out a couple weeks ago, and they were on David Letterman's show on NBC. And dynamic Christians, and Faye is thrilled to death that you are here.
How neat.
As soon as she heard you were coming, she just was so excited, and she's been waiting for you. So isn't that something that you would pick out Faye Spear's name?
I'm delighted.
Oh, and we have to read Faye's letter here. I can't believe that. Okay. I'm excited about the power increase because so many more people will be reached by this very important ministry. KNDR is a big part in making my commitment to the Lord and has helped me grow ever since. KNDR is part of every day for me, and now it'll be for many more that need it. I just praise the Lord for what he's done and what he's going to do. From Faye Spear. And Faye wins 12 record albums worth $105, 2 hardcover books from Chuck Swindoll, and 2 KNDR T-shirts. I can hardly believe it.
She really won all that?
Yeah.
I should have put my name in. I'd like 2 books by Chuck Swindoll.
I think we can arrange a T-shirt for you. How about that?
Okay.
I've even got an extra Swindoll book. I'll give you one of those. We got his latest book, okay? How about that? Christine Wyrtzen is with us. It's 24 minutes after 5, and we're going to take a break for a song from Christine. She's in concert tonight at 7:30 at Bismarck Baptist Church. Free will offering will be taken. Let's listen now from Christine's album, For Those Who Hurt.
Wait on me. The Medical Arts Building in downtown Bismarck.
And it's 27 minutes after 5, and Christine, why don't you do the weather for us? Wouldn't that be fun for once?
I'd love to do the weather.
Okay, here's what don't you do tonight and tomorrow there.
Tonight, mostly clear, low in the mid-40s, winds southeast 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday, variable cloudiness, high 60 to 65, winds south 10 to 20 miles per hour.
Currently in Bismarck, Mandan, 71 degrees, so it's not supposed to be quite as warm tomorrow, but still a beautiful day. And wasn't this a nice afternoon?
Gorgeous.
A little windy, though, right?
Oh, that's okay.
Tell us about where you live up there in New York, what that's like.
We have, well, my husband says we have 11 months of winter and 1 month of bad sledding. That's what he says. But we do have very harsh winters. We will get our first snowfall in mid-October, and we live on a 9-mile-long lake, and the ice does not go off of that until May. So we have very harsh.
Now, is that up by Buffalo, up in that area?
We are 6 hours north of Buffalo. We're really by Montreal.
North of Buffalo. It's still in New York. Why would you want to live there?
Well, that's where my husband's ministry has been.
Of course, you could just well say to me, why would I want to live here, right?
That's true. We're even. No, we directed the junior high ministry for Word of Life camps, and my husband's also been their pilot during the winter. So, but he has recently resigned after 12 years there, so we have a big move ahead of us.
What is he going to do, work with you basically now?
We're devoting a couple years to the ministry and traveling, yeah, and then he'll go back into charter work or whatever.
What is it like to be in the Christian music business today? Is it, do you feel competitive?
I would say competitive in a very good sense. Your peers, and I'm friends with my competitors, you know, your peers really make you strive for perfection and a higher quality. But I would not say that there's the hard-nosed competition where you resent another one succeeding. It's a very positive thing.
There's so many artists out there, though, now who are trying to make it, and there are so many concerts. It just seems like everybody's touring now. Do you find it's harder to get into places now?
If you were starting out, I would say yes. I have some friends that I've produced albums for, and it's hard hoeing. It really is. But I would say overall it's really exciting because music is progressing at such a fast pace, and we are just beginning to say things with music, I think, that have never been said before. And what an exciting time to be involved.
You have really musically grown and progressed as well. What's going to happen now? I know the tendency of most artists is to move a little more contemporary, and here's sweet little Christine doing her real pretty little songs. Is that going to get a little more contemporary now, too?
My arrangements are more contemporary, but my voice doesn't change. My father was worried about it when I did my last album, and I brought the album home, and he said, "Well, you still sound sweet, you know." So, you know, the personality doesn't change, and the ministry doesn't change, and the goal has still been, you've got to hear every word. You know, you can put any amount of contemporary trappings behind it, but you've got to hear the words, and so there won't be any drastic. I won't be in a Madonna outfit on the front or anything.
Now, who do you listen to?
Well, I buy almost everything in gospel music just to keep up. But I really enjoy Steve Green. He's a friend. And Sandy's a friend. And I got to think of some others off the top of my head.
Do you listen mostly to Christian music then?
No, I listen to a cross-section. I listen to some jazz, a little bit of Neil Diamond, Anne Murray I like a lot.
I really found that in interviewing so many Christian artists that most of them like to listen to the secular artists to see what's going on there.
You've got to keep up on production and techniques because it's constantly changing. Just like a pilot would have to keep up on computerized systems in the cockpit, you've got to keep up on the music industry.
Now, I know you have heard this many times before, that in some of your songs you sound like Karen Carpenter in some ways. The arrangements are very Carpenter-ish. Is that intentional?
Yes, because I grew up on her. I wouldn't say that my latest album will not sound like her, simply because I've probably outgrown it now. But definitely so. I mean, the reason I sing sounds like Carpenter background and everything.
And I love it, too. That I like the Carpenters, too. So, you also have a kids album out, Critter County. Tell us how that whole ministry got started.
I never planned to have a children's ministry, but then the Lord gave me children. And all of a sudden, you have two little ones, and you are thinking up creative ways to teach them things. And I will do a whole series of skits tonight for kids showing how Critter County came about. And basically, it came through playing games with my kids at the piano and seeing how fast they could learn things when they were put to music. And so I put 26 Bible verses to music, one for each letter of the alphabet. And I thought, I'm going to put them all to music, then I'm going to take my 4-year-old little girl and see how long it takes her to learn them all. And she learned them all in 4 days and loved it. So we thought, you know, this thing really works. So we made an album for kids called Critter County, and it is not unusual. We thought it might appeal to like 4 to 7 years of age, but 2 to 11 just eat up the album, and it's really exciting.
So you've got something for everybody in your concert tonight.
Yeah, we encourage the whole family to come.
Especially those little kids. That's great to have something for the kids. Now, what has it been like, especially now you've been on the road for, about 5 days now? What's it like? Do you have to call home every night and tear yourself away from the kids again, or what?
I call home at supper time usually every night, and I find out what they're having for dinner. However, We usually travel together in a motorhome, and we were to have been here as a family. So these are 5 days which I'm away that I'm not usually away. So they're meeting me in Chicago tomorrow, and we're on our way to California. So, but I got what they had for dinner, for instance, tonight, and I talked to my little girl about school. So
I know how hard that is for me just to be away if I'm gone for a day or two on business or something. It must be even harder for you.
My husband grew up with a very sick mom, and he literally took care of her because his dad was an evangelist and traveled, and he got used to cooking and maintaining the house. And sometimes when I'm gone, I'll call home and he'll have a turkey dinner for 15 people, and he's entertaining. And I have a... That's funny, huh?
And you're having McDonald's. That's
That's right. But, I mean, the Lord has known all that ahead of time and put us together, and he's very unusual.
So you're thinking about your kids tonight and thinking about tomorrow when you get to see them.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Explain now for those who think, and I hate to even ask this question, but I have to, I hate it. Explain how you're related to the Wyrtzens. Let's get it out of the way, okay?
I married Jack Wyrtzen's youngest son, and he has 5 children, one of whom is also Don, who is the musician. So Don's my brother-in-law, Jack's my father-in-law, and I'm married to Ron.
And what is that like to be in the Wyrtzen clan?
I should put an explanation on tape, and then I would have it made. No, it's great. Don has been an incredible support. He really, he produced like the first couple albums that I did. And Jack, I got saved under his ministry when I was 7, never having any idea I'd marry into his family. And I credit my appetite for the ministry due to my father-in-law. He let me play in concerts and in evangelistic meetings from the time I was 13 all through high school and college. And I got used to seeing people's lives changed, and it's great.
What's your maiden name?
Hewitt, Hewitt.
Why would you not keep that? Many artists keep their maiden name.
Well, I didn't sing till after I was married, so...
Well, neither did Sandy, but Sandy left her fake maiden name on there.
That's true.
Sandy Helvering is her real name, and she really didn't get involved in the ministry until after that. Of course, Patty, P-A-T-T-I, isn't her real last name. P-A-T-T-Y is, but I know some artists... I mean, you got a very attractive name. That's a good name to have, isn't it?
Well, I guess looking back, although I didn't think of it at the time, it's probably a plus to have Wyrtzen, simply because it's known because of Don as a musical tag. So.
But everybody else has to ask you that stupid question, right? How you're related.
Yes.
But I got it out of the way, okay? Now everybody will be happy, all right? Let's go ahead and play a cut from Christine's album, My Best to You. This is one of my favorite songs. The reason I sing, it's got a little Carpenter sound in there. And then we'll be back to finish up our interview with Christine Wyrtzen. She's here tonight at 7:30 at Bismarck Baptist. 20 minutes before 6, Christine Wyrtzen is with us, and we're very happy to have her here in concert tonight at 7:30 at Bismarck Baptist. And we're talking about some of the things Christine has been doing. And Christine, where are you headed from here now?
Chicago tomorrow, and then out to Southern California. So we'll enjoy some sunshine.
Where's your favorite place to go? Other than home, I mean, home is obvious. But in terms of visiting, touring, do you have a special part of the country that's favorite?
Well, I love Nashville a lot. I mean, I like the way the land rolls. I like the people. I like the restaurants and the shopping. Some beautiful hotels. But I would say probably Midwest. Midwest, like Southern Illinois on down.
You're not a Southerner from birth, are you?
No. But I'm not a real fan of New England. Spiritually, it's kind of barren. They don't have a lot of concerts, and it's hard to find a really progressive church. And the Midwest just seems to be a nice middle ground. West Coast, you find a lot of... Yeah. They're on the far right, you know. So.
How do you get ministered to as a minister?
Well, we believe that it's really important for us to stay involved in our local church. And up until this fall, I've been their organist. Of course, now we're moving. And my husband's been in charge of all their sound and tape ministry. It's really hard as someone who's really itinerant. They're not in a local church. They're not accountable to a pastor. And we really need to go home and be one of everybody else, and have friends tell you, hey, you're off base here, and hear your songs, and make sure you're theologically correct. And so we try
What
accountability there.
What are Sunday mornings like at the Wyrtzen household?
Oh, murder like everybody else's. You're ready to lose the joy on the way to church. Seems like no matter how early you get up, you're never ready. You know what I mean? Bill Butterworth has a wonderful book. Have you read it? Oh,
Peanut butter families or whatever?
And he has a whole chapter on Sunday mornings. It's wonderful.
I sure would like to have you in my church organist. That's pretty great. But I could see where people wouldn't let you get out of line, would they?
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They're careful.
It's sure great having you here, and we're looking forward to hearing you tonight at 7:30 at Bismarck Baptist. And just tell your husband and family that we appreciate you letting them share you with us.
For letting me talk.